The long wait is finally over. It seems that DC's Legends of Tomorrow is back with its 7th season. It seems that things are shifting in the upcoming episodes, though. We seem to be dealing with a group of psychotic robo-doppelgangers. Yeah, you heard that right. The super violent robo-Legends from last year's cliffhanger are in fact back. This time it seems that they're at the forefront of the show. So let's dive into it. So where did the last episode leave us? The 7th episode of the 7th season premiered on the 24th of November 2021. And then we were left hanging for more than a month waiting for the next episode. So I guess we all need a little turning back in time to the last season. In the 7th episode, the Legends arrive in 1943 with Bishop. See, we weren't kidding when we said we'd have to travel back in time. The episode not only contains social commentary, we see how things are super difficult in the 1940s, especially if you were a woman of color, but it also gives us our first glimpse of the psychopathic doppelgangers. We've seen it coming since the start of Season 1, as Astra deals with the stark reality of the early 20th century, not only as a woman, but as a woman of color. She's forced to become a janitor, like most women of color of the time. We see how her patience eventually thins when her racist boss, Mr. Staples, threatens to fire her when she tries to get some documents to help the Legends rebuild the time machine. She snaps and freezes Mr. Staples. And, well, if you ask us about it, honestly, the man had it coming. He was really getting on our nerves too. Given the way things played out at the factory with Astra and her success with the aeroplane, it encouraged Eleanor Roosevelt to go to Congress and get all the factories segregated 2 years earlier than it actually happened in history. This change in the timeline pushes evil Gideon to send her soldiers after the Legends. The attempt at changing the timeline fails as Bishop ends up sacrificing his life to ensure the team escapes from the soldiers. Nearing the end, it revealed that the soldiers are in fact robot clones of the Legends. Amidst the battle, 2 soldiers are killed, which we later find out are Robo-Sara and Astra, both of who are damaged beyond repair. Now that we've been brought up to pace with the last episode, let's take a closer look at what the recent update has been all about. What's this talk of psychotic doppelgangers? We don't know what you were expecting, but we thought episode 8 would pick up where the last one ended, and we'd see what happens to our Legends. Episode 8 does in fact pick up where we last left off, only not in the way we expected. We see what happened after the incidents in the factory, only it's not from the perspectives of the Legends, but rather from that of their evil doppelgangers. The episode is aptly titled Paranoid Android and shows us more insight into evil Gideon's robot soldiers. Initially, when the robots are revealed, the audience expects a straightforward storyline, where evil Gideon has her robot soldiers that look exactly like the Legends. Things get a little complicated as we discover that the androids don't know that they're robots. They think they're actual Legends who are tasked to track down an imposter group that wants to mess up historical timelines. Our team of robo-Legends thinks that they're the heroes of their story. The similarities between our Legends and these doppelgangers end at their appearance. Unlike our Legends, this robo group is anything but heroic. They're all rigid, with clenched jaws and a whole bunch of bloodthirsty threats. We see Barad and Spooner voicing their need to avenge their dead lovers, who, in fact, aren't actually dead. The episode has an almost comical air to it. But of course, even the robo-Legends aren't just blindly following evil Gideon. We see that Robo-Sara seems to question the morality of their last mission. She goes on to question why the so-called evil android Legends are going out of their way to help random civilians, not to mention the miraculous and rather questionable recovery of Astra and Zari, who was definitely a bit more than dead in the last episode. But we can see that the biggest mistake evil Gideon did was use the Legends as templates for her evil robots, because it seems that the doppelgangers inherited from the originals their independence and their stubbornness. Clearly, Robo-Sara is having none of Gideon's uncompromising orders with little to no explanation. Eventually, when Sarah goes to Dr. Sharp's operating room, she discovers the shocking truth that they are, in fact, all robots. We've seen Katie Lotz, who portrays the character of Sarah, take a back seat this season, so the audience gets to see more of the others like Spooner and Human Gideon. But this episode, we see the Legends come to the forefront again, her heavily mascaraed blue eyes filled with doubt and mistrust. Eventually, when tasked to assassinate an escaped Soviet nuclear scientist, Robo-Sara fakes her own death and escapes the clutches of evil Gideon. She stages a coup against Dr. Sharp and evil Gideon to take her own fate back into her own hands. Unfortunately, her team is less concerned about an end goal and living for the thrill of holding the reins for their own missions. Eventually, Zari betrays Sarah when evil Gideon promises an upgraded brain. The episode ends on a rather dark note as we see Sarah surrounded by her supposed teammates and is brainwashed back into being an ice-cold assassin. It seems seems that by the end of the episode, that order has been restored, and destiny too has been restored. It's interesting to note that paranoid android makes little difference to the actual storyline of the series. We don't really make any progress with the main storyline. We have no idea what happens to the actual Legends or where the time machine takes them next. However, our suspicions about the anti-heroes have been confirmed. We see that the antagonists are exactly what we expected them to be. With the end of the 8th episode, we're all left to wonder about the fate of our Legends. Let's hope that the upcoming episode has more to reveal about their fate. When will the next episode premiere, and what are we expecting? So, when exactly is the next episode airing, and what do we know about it so far? According to the schedule, the next episode, titled Lowest Common Denominator, is set to release on the 19th of January 2022. Now, we don't know much about the upcoming episode, but what we do know is that everything is going to hell, like literally. As the name of the episode indicates, it seems that our Legends are facing some demonic entities in the upcoming episode. According to the synopsis, the Legends jump the time machine to Constantine's manor, landing in hell with a damned crew of a 90s reality show. And as you can imagine, chaos ensues. The preview of the 9th episode gave us a glimpse of how we might get to see more into various relationships. Bayrad, it seems, is looking for advice about Astra, while human Gideon is facing some challenges in her relationship with Gary. It seems that the only couple who has a somewhat stable relationship in the team are surprisingly Sarah and Ava. One thing that's for certain is that the upcoming episode is definitely going to be entertaining, if not anything else. We don't know about you, but we're super curious to see how things proceed. We're excited to see our original Legends return to the forefront, but we're also curious to know if we'll see more of the Robo-Legends. Is Legends of Tomorrow ending after Season 7? Many fans seem concerned about the fate of the TV series, questioning whether the current season is the final installment in the series. We're here to address some of these concerns. As of now, there have been no official statements made regarding the 8th season. While viewership has declined a bit over time, however, it seems pretty likely that Legends of Tomorrow will come back for an 8th season. We have two main reasons to believe this. Firstly, during the 2021 Comic-Con at home, showrunner Phil Klemmer stated that he's hoping to see fans next year in real life in San Diego. We're taking that as an implication that the show will definitely return for at least another season. Secondly, as production for the 7th season has come to a wrap, there has been no indication from the cast or crew that the current season was the last. While the show has been going on for some time now, we assume that the audience will definitely get a warning beforehand if the series were to come to an end. We've discussed how the 8th episode of Season 7 had unfolded. What are your thoughts on the episode? How do you feel about Robo-Sara's realization of the truth, her gain, and then the loss of freedom? Do you think the show will explore the storyline of the Robo-Legends further? Or was this the final time we get to see an in-depth view of them? We're curious to see where the upcoming episode will take the Legends. We're also curious to know your thoughts on everything we discussed today. So don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments down below.